Are you overpaying your real estate agent? Come on, if you've ever bought or sold a home, that question has definitely crossed your mind. Well, we're about to dive into a report that suggests for millions of Americans, the answer is a big fat yes. So here's the game plan for this explainer. First, we'll tackle what we're calling the $50 billion question. Yeah, it's a huge number. Then we'll get into why these fees are so high, bust the old myth of you get what you pay for, explore a whole new way to pay your agent, and finally, get down to what this all means for your bottom line. All right, let's just jump right in. Section 1, the $50 billion question. A recent report from the Consumer Policy Center puts a number on this, and it is staggering. Somewhere between $30 and $50 billion. That's with a B. That's how much Americans could be overpaying in real estate commissions every single year. Just think about that. It's a crazy amount of money flowing from regular folks like us to real estate brokerages. But, a number that big is hard to wrap your head around. So what does that mean for you? Well, on a typical home sale, we're talking about an extra $6,000. That's cash that could be in your pocket. Imagine closing on your home and having an extra $6,000 to furnish the new place or just, breathe a little easier. That's what we're really talking about here. So how on earth is this even possible? How can fees be so consistently high across an entire industry? That brings us right to Section 2, where we're going to dig into why these fees are being called inflated. The report's author, Mark Nadel, really doesn't pull any punches. He says the industry has successfully resisted competing on price. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about blaming any one agent. It's about a whole system where, according to this report, the motivation to lower prices just isn't really there. So how do they do it? The report highlights a few common tactics. There's that subtle suggestion that if you pay less, you must be getting a worse agent. Or there's the practice of agents maybe steering their clients away from homes that are listed by discount brokers. And there are even some muddy claims that buyers might get stuck paying the commission themselves if they go with a low-fee agent. And all of this stuff feeds directly into a belief that we've all heard a million times, which brings us to Section 3, the you get what you pay for myth. It's the big question, right? Do higher fees really mean you're getting a better agent, a faster sale, or a higher price? Okay, this slide cuts right to the heart of it. The common belief, what we're all taught, is that a higher price means higher quality. But the report basically flips that whole idea on its head. It argues that the issue isn't that discount brokers are bad, it's that the traditional fees were artificially high to begin with. And this just makes the point so clearly. Think about it. Does an agent selling a $1 million house really do twice the work of an agent selling a $500,000 house? I mean, sure, the work might be a little different, but the report argues it's almost never double the effort, so why should it be double the pay? Now, this is where it gets really, really interesting. Let's look at the numbers here, because this table highlights what the report calls the incentive problem. So for a $400,000 home, the difference between a disappointing sale at $390K and an excellent one at $410K is huge for the seller, right? That's a $20,000 swing. But for the agent, their extra commission is only about $75. Seriously. Now ask yourself, is an extra $75 really enough to make your agent fight tooth and nail for that last dollar for you? So if the current system has this baked-in incentive problem, is there a better way? Well, the report says, yeah, there is. Welcome to Section 4, a new way to pay. The report lays out this totally different model. Here's how it would work. First, you and the agent agree on a realistic benchmark price for your home. Second, you agree on their share, a bonus percentage they get on every single dollar they earn for you above that benchmark. And finally, you pay a separate, simple flat fee for their basic time and services. See? This way, their big payday is tied directly to getting you an amazing price. This simple change just completely flips the script. All of a sudden, the game isn't just about trying to land the most expensive listings. It's about competing to get the absolute best price for every single client. Because now, the agent's success is truly directly tied to yours. Okay, we've broken down the problem and looked at a potential fix. So let's bring it all home and focus on what matters most in Section 5, your bottom line. So when you're out there interviewing agents, what should actually be on your checklist? Of course, you're going to look at their skills, their market knowledge, their sales strategy, and if you get along with them. But the report argues that we often forget one of the most important things on that list, their fee. It shouldn't be some awkward afterthought. It should be right there at the top of your evaluation. And that brings us to the final, really powerful idea from this report, A lower fee should be a plus, not a minus in such an evaluation. It's a complete 180 from that you get what you pay for mindset. So maybe the next time you're buying or selling, the most important question you can ask isn't just who's the best agent, but who is offering the best value. Something to think about.